In this video, we'll be covering the client portal message log that is found inside of the client file. Right now, we are inside a client file, and the portal message log link is right here. Now, this log will contain all of the portal messages between you and your client, and it will group them based off the calendar year that you can find up here. And you can use this drop-down menu to select the year that you wish to view those messages for. Or you could just select all to view all of them. This checkbox for display message column, when selected, will have a column display that contains the message. And so you could filter this on or off, depending on if you'd rather view the message in a column or just view the message by clicking on this view button right here. Underneath that, we have our columns for our totals. We have one for total messages, which are 4. We have one for open, received, sent, and automatic notifications. And each of these will have a number listed underneath of it that will show how many messages of that type were sent or received. So if we click on this 4 under total messages, it'll display all 4 of them. If I were to click on our 3 for received, it just has 3, 1 for open, 0 for sent, and so on. And we also have our billable amount here. And this mostly works with our sent here. So if we actually sent our client a portal message that can have a billable amount attached to it, then that would then filter into this area right here. Underneath that, we have our actual message area. And so we have this selection box right here. This will allow us to select the message that's in here, or if we had multiple messages, we could select multiple of them. And what that selection box does is it allows us to either interact with complete, which will then close out this message. It'll push in an end date, or we can interact with our actions button right up here. The view button will actually open up the message for us to view. On this screen, we can also schedule an appointment. We can assign this message out to somebody. We can adjust the priority level of it. We could reply or just mark it as complete. There is a reply shortcut right here. So if we didn't want to click on view, we can just click on reply. This would then take us to that same screen where we could then type up our reply to our client. This edit pencil will open up this area for editing. It'll open up a new menu over here where we can add in a note. We can timestamp it even. We can select who it is that we're going to assign this portal message to. We can adjust the assign date, add a due date, a priority level. The receive date is going to be when this message was sent, but we can adjust it if we want to. And then an end date. If we push one in, this is just going to close out the message. And then we can also assign the site for this message and also the account year. Once we do that, we can click save, and that will then save our changes. Then we have this delete button right here. This is the trash can icon. This will delete the message out of the log. We have a subject column right here. This will display the subject line of the portal message. If we view all of them, we can get an idea what some of these are. The note will display the note for the message. The assign date and due date will display who the message is assigned to, as well as the assign date. And if we had a due date in here, that would also show. The account year will show if this message has been attached to an account year. Again, if I go and set that up with our edit button, I can add a due date, a priority level, and an account year. We'll attach this to a 2024 tax prep. So once we make those edits, you can see that we have a priority, we have a due date, and now this note here says 2024 tax prep. What this really does is it's more just a note saying that this message relates to the 2024 tax prep year. It doesn't actually link that message to the client's 2024 tax prep year. This type column displays whether the message is open, if it's received. Basically, if we were to close this message out, this would then change to received. Automatic notification, it just kind of explains what type of message it is. Site will show the site that this message is attached to. Tracking has who created the message, this is the person that basically sent it. The modified by is the person that was last to make a change to this message, and the receive date is going to be when the message was sent or received. And then also if a message was closed out, it's going to have an end date in here as well. And then lastly, we have a billable hours and amount column. If our messages had a billable amount set up for them, that value would display in here. If you want to send a message to your client, you can click on this add button right up here. This will take you to a screen where you can then create your message. If you want to send your client a predefined message that already exists within your system, there's a drop-down menu for it right up here. You can select that message, or you can type up your own subject line and type up your own message. And then once you're happy with how that is, you could click send right up here. If you want to make sure that the client's response is automatically assigned to you, you can check this box right here. If you want to give this a billable minutes value, you can enter that in there. Say it took us 10 minutes to create this message. And we also have a place where you can either browse or drag and drop files to attach to this message. And so the way that works is you can just drag it from your screen to this area right here, then attach file, and that includes an attachment link right there. So once you've created your message, you can click send. This will then be sent to the client's portal. They will get both an email, and you have Twilio, they will also get a text stating that they have a new message to view on the portal, and it will encourage them to log in and view it. You can now see that since we added that value for the billable minutes when we sent that message, this now has data in it. Again, if we take a look at all of our messages, we have that one that we sent, and that's where that value is coming from. The next to add, we have our actions button. This just has assign to and move. So the way this works is you need to select a message or select your messages, and then you can interact with actions. If you click on assign to, this will pull up a menu where you can assign these messages to a user. You can also adjust the priority level for them. So if I select me and high, this will then change both those to a high level of priority and also assign them to me. And then same thing if you want to select these messages, actions, then go to move. What move does is it allows you to search for another client file within your system. And then this search will pull up every client that matches with what you searched for. And then you can select that client and then to move these messages to. And then lastly, we have the complete button right up here. And this only works with messages that are open. So for example, this message right here, it has this yellow highlight to it. We can select this message, click complete. What this does is it will allow us to click OK. And then this will then mark it as complete. It changes it from open to received. And then also it pushes in an end date there. And it will also get it off of our home page. So that is it for our client portal log inside the client file. Thank you for watching, and definitely reach out to Atom Support if you have any questions.